That is why Omuni MPP NDC for a debate. Omuti now moral grounds when our Obeka say 1 year 8 months in Yafanya Kumasi road. That is why the NDC will talk like that. Yes, because it is incumbent. That is why when the NDC talk like
my never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there see them yopo.
My hene kwabna asante atoto bi dia mane the minority leader ene afi MPP for yi pa ya wo chese abrana MPP for wa ban mu no omo kasa nim so mo ye nema bi ana emboa oman no na MPP kura ba bi a party na dru no enya attractive bi me very disappointed ema MPP for na anhwe ye kura mpo anya de agana for beto aba e de ama eye MPP for we ye nsem bi a my hene kwabna asante e de atudwa PENDREAM TV so ni. Subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on. Send a bear drop a new video be about the first person I want Ebeka. Like in a shape you made ma afofro and sa and kami. Ye more name kuti and sema on my hene kwabna sanse e dia to
Obi. I'm extremely disappointed in the New Patriotic Party. They don't even know. So as we speak now, non-party is not attractive to most Ghanaians. They don't even know. They don't know, and I'm disappointed in the minority leader. Honestly, now you are calling for equity. You MPP, you are calling for equity. You are not coming with clean hands. Why should we even think of voting for MPP again? When and you will shout to say my ban win, you know, only fresh page reset, you know, no. Who cross and you may be no and into the sebi you now have a certain moral grounds to stand on and then say once you want to reset, please let us all join and reset and move to the next level. Say I'm not careful, a man yourself I who for sure. If you do me, I'll do you. It will always be an albatross around our neck. Obi koye yechere. Yeche na koye no. Ukuta krata bia emunsem ehia oche bibia aposifo abo ho ban wakodu bia odisa okrata ne kodu mampan otufo otikokko so mebo mu ase me sede wo ye mfato ho se otufo tu hene eba wa yie ujumadie bia wudi a ehon na abayi na se won na abajumedi na se otufo na eti se mampan ewo abankasiem na so otu nsafre obis abamampel se bia brinti ni adaje ntimi nya bi ma na wadaro ma mesrew obi ye adwuma ma so ye ha se mampan chusu even ne driver sebe otwi ni hyen and the cars on media sa ho ma so nze free. Do you want to tell the president who is supposed to come and receive your petition on his behalf? Sa ho ma so nze, is it about the content or is it about any power obeji? In fact, it was even one unique opportunity for the NPP to admit that the reason why we are being here, and it's good that Nana Yajantua you are here. During our time, we meted out a certain treatment to you. It was not the best. It didn't conform to the rules and regulations of the land. So we thank the president for even bringing you to us because you are in a better position to tell the president that enough of all these bickerings and back and forth. So we urge you to tell the president that we admit that we committed. But in your case of resetting, it is you who can be a conduit to propagate the ills of what this current administration is doing because you are a testimony. But in all, we apologize to you. Are you a victim of Sanoma Wende? Are you a victim? And they should have shame because they are thinking is that when you go and bring out an old video, this is how we have lived our life all these years. No, be Mr. So I'm about to know I had the Yamian in Ukraine. A buo e was a table we anyone can say don't allow them again. Don't allow them again. What it tells me is that the MPP and the NDC, now the MPP in opposition, they've not learned their lessons. They've not. They are still in shock. They don't believe that they've lost the election by 57 to 41. They are in shock. If not, certain levels of arrogance and ego, they wouldn't display it. Impunity. If they keep doing that, it will be difficult for us to tell the NDC at their face that you, mobile reset. And check the kind of reset I'm de mine. But who bondok? Now who know the culture and say, Onipa no Jina when you know because what of a Bank of Ghana, the Afenyo be a banner, and then security man. But now, say bank governor Suma, Ubiso Mijana and Nemubayadema. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
They could have used any opportunity.
Who are you?
To open a fresh page and say,
that's the point.
Mumu opposition moye demonstration no.
That's the point.
Head of security of the Bank of Ghana by Mubu Nenimtia.
That's the point. That's the point.
Just to set.
But how are we learning? That's what I'm saying, that we are not learning. They demonstrated a certain level of homophobia. Who did they think they are? Who do they think they are? I mean the MPP. You are a party in opposition seeking Ghana's mandate to come back to power again. If you demonstrate this ego, what do you mean? What do you mean?
And the only
what do you mean? What do you mean?
NDC phones.
So what? So what it means is that you have nothing to offer again when you come. What the mistakes that the NDC is doing today, you are coming to do worse. That's what it means. For how long would we play this game around the system like that? I can't draw money too much. Too much.
Why I tend to agree with you and say, but for ENRA event, of course, with UPS, maybe a senior most member of the presidency would have come.
I don't want you to even go to those nitty-gritties. Number one.
No, me really.
Number one.
Yes.
When John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, we had flooding situations. What happened in this country? We all rose to the occasion to say, Papa, you are insensitive to the plight of Ghanaians. A national event too.
Yeah.
You criticize him to the core. It doesn't matter the circumstances that led to the death of these gallant Ghanaians. It was declared a day of appreciating and recognizing these heroes. In quote, you, out of your own way, wanting to distract the focus on that useful exercise by the nation, not the interest of the NDC or the president, decided to defy and choose that particular day as a day to come and demonstrate and put up this odd behavior, offensive behavior, not a discouraging behavior at the Jubilee House. So, President, okay, Thanksgiving now, nanum call. But when I pray about 2 minutes, you cannot observe the rules and regulations. You want to be given power. Let me drum it home again to them. To make the best of my knowledge, they should go back, keep quiet, observe the space. Because I can tell you, Obi, the MPP as it stands now is less attractive to the Ghanaian. They shouldn't be deceived, though. That is why Omuni MPP NDC for a debate. Omuni moral grounds men awa. Obeka say 1 year 8 months in Yamfanya Kumasi Road. That is why the NDC will talk like that. Yes, because it is incumbent. That is why when the NDC talk like that, it is incumbent on us, the two of us and our colleagues, to subject the NDC to scrutiny and say that no, you can't, because the Ghana is not MPP. Ghana is a group of individuals. We need development, not this kind of comparison. We can hold the NDC in check. You should observe until further notice. What didn't we say here? It doesn't stop you from criticizing, but be modest.
Into the point I was making earlier, and it's I think, because as the MPP themselves admitted, no, on my first demonstration on Deputy Chief of Staff stand up in a Babeje petition. No? The second demonstration, Chief of Staff at the Office of the Vice President, Alex Egbefia, and a Babeje. And they claim said they were expecting another senior member. But I'm saying, sir, the circumstances yesterday wouldn't have allowed that, because all the senior members at the presidency were at UPSA. And Anaya Kano, Okase, the president told him at UPSA, say, free Emra Meje. And they knowing the circumstances, that's why that point the Honorable Minority Leader made, was a bit out of
Obi, respectfully.
Because the situation Emra couldn't have allowed any other senior member to have come.
Respectfully.
And I think they should have understood the times.
And I'm saying that
respectfully.
Yeah. Let's not even downplay the person Anaya Jantua, please. And again,
I'm not saying
let's not even give MPP or whichever party any time or maybe if any room to operate what's happening. You're not a determinant of what the president should do in some instances. You're not. You're not a determinant. I'm saying the president had the right. Is it written in the constitution that so the petition called presidency were there are specific people who are some Mediana?
No.
Why? Is it written? Is it part of the constitution? The president could have said, me, Mampai John Dramani Mama. And then me protocol officer, on the call, no ko share million, no kwaji. What is your problem? Now, at the airport, Yamuko and Emayu, Nana ya Jan 12 versus Afenyo corner the who Ghana and Pemosa will discuss. What is in that thing? And who opposition, who they are Mason is sharing. Who opposition, who no sabe trade the end because you see maybe a chairman, jaga, anything solution, because anything that you say, and maybe in a way by the way they say, who opposition, open power. You are not attractive. Infighting, a lot of challenges in opposition. You will not concentrate. Okra de ya sure suma mubo wasum. What you mean na ma ponto guide the wakwa akosi baby ese oko. Some years back it was declared as a security zone. Nobody should have access to that place. It was declared as such.
Nyankopon say we are Pentecost ni kache no forgive 70 times 7 and now even 70 times 70. Intino mesreno she should know say, and especially in the game of politics, you will be insulted, you will be spat at, and sometimes you won't agree with the person. Okay, I say about politics, how some people behave when they lose, and so on and so forth. Sana politics to some people will insult you. You in nasa democracy asemi aba. But I want to start by also sympathizing with the brothers who passed away. In fact, I went to the demonstration. I never heard about it till this morning. I never heard. I think the publicity was not there. Because media, Omani Buama, and Mutala in particular, no, I'm a main guy. Main guy. Nehemiah discussing, Nehemiah, no trade committee. Me drew her up and I said, hey, I saw you free zones here. Your books are always clean. Today I'll find fault. Put it there. You will say no infractions. Because yes, so you could see you could see the PFM, you could see any accountant here, finance here, Bibia Crojin, Yvia, Bibu or Betafria, Yatafre, Yako, and yes, in the Bible Botofimu Akori. It will be to me council. This is how we should also build a nation. Into we and a ship. Just say a shame, as see I'm a is your cry tatabeni. Because we shouldn't lose each other because of politics. Politics, in the long run, we any power. Not now, you are now Udampemwe. It's a near me be a cosu siciano. You know me, I'm always referred to as one of the doves in MPP. Because they may be and yet. Look, people are having a drizzle. Look at some of the things he himself has said. Said the consul and yet. I said the same thing. There are always some people there to who, if the hawks will listen, the same way too in MPP. People like Chebe Sabus and so in the past, they were saying, no, this one, it shouldn't happen. We know people who condemned the Chatu thing, people like Joe Gatti and so on, that why Bonnie cry, don't go and take him in church. That kind of thing. So let's rather keep that one rather higher. Because the hawks in MPP will also have the upper hand in future to do certain things which may not be right, but will be understood because of the way it is going. Now, democracy under attack. The FAPM, and they say, what is the problem? The problem is simple. The MPP feels that the NDC is using their power and abusing it. That is all we are saying. Why are we saying that? Let us start with this Sedina case. And you are a lawyer. In law, there's something called direct evidence and there's circumstantial evidence. Direct evidence here, it usually is beyond reasonable doubt. So when you tip the scales, we know how that is. And me, beyond reasonable doubt, when we were looking at it in the cases of Lord Denning and so on, he's looking at 95% or not 90. 18 even cases are jury trial. If just one person, either mistrial or they start the whole thing again. So we have to be very, very circumspect in the way we handle certain things. Yes, say where you sika every bank we akoshe rural bank account. The evidence is there. They say the money moved from the rural bank to you. You said they should bring it in cash. The people have a receipt that you signed. The evidence is there. The evidence too shows that the money never came into Maslock. Where is the issue of there's no evidence? Where is that issue? Where young kind of that school for here. I don't want to go into any technicalities. Then we go into Chairman Wuntumi's case. the man facilitates, if or supposedly. So that means that it's circumstantial, because it's your word against mine. And your friend, now you see me, now you don't. So I don't say they be my farm mouse say mining. Me say coconut. Also say they be fire coconut. Now you and I know. Me the what I know in plea bargain, murder case, whatever. Plea bargain, one of our nipa no. And I'll say me na me be a door no. I opened the door with my key and went to kill. So the plea bargain in terms of testimony for the prosecution, if we are supposed to give you death penalty, then we give you life imprisonment. You don't go free because you testified against somebody in a murder. Then, if it's, let's say, a country where they don't do capital punishment, but they do life imprisonment in 35, 40 years, you see, because of that, your sentence has been mitigated to 20 years. And I mean, what? But in this case, I'll go and give evidence against somebody in a plea bargain situation to say that this person told me to go and do galamsey. I was caught doing the galamsey. My equipment was doing the galamsey. My staff was doing the galamsey. The only thing left is, now you see me, now you don't. He said, she said. Then, based on that circumstantial evidence against you, which we all know cannot therefore be beyond reasonable doubt, but it's more of a semblance to balance of probability. Because, I know that's why, if you like notice, most people who lose their cases in the criminal court, they go and sue in the civil, and they usually win. You remember the O.J. Simpson case, for example? When they sued in civil, because that one is balance of probabilities, scale, just a little tip. Balance of probability. The other one says beyond reasonable doubt. So the doubt should not be there, and you should be beyond it. But yet, the facilitator, and that 20 years is not for facilitation. No. That 20 years, no, it should be for somebody who is involved in mining, who is doing the mining. You can say, okay, in my opinion, you allowed negligence, whether willfully or negligently. Say, only a chrono embed mining. 18, I'll give you 1 year sentence to punish you so that next time nobody does that. And no, I don't agree, but I can see the reasonable way that the whole punishment has been couched, because you are trying to do a preventative method. But the preoccupy, we'll see, I'll use the action of the mining itself to jail you for 20 years. Why? And this is where the problem is. And we are saying that where there seems to be circumstantial evidence, there's jail of 20 years. And where there's actual evidence, where the person has been sentenced to. So when you come to court of appeal, you actually have to come and present your case and maybe give some extra evidence that was not available to you or was not presented to the court before. And that's how they appeal. But rather, no, the whole evidence that was even used against you before is ignored. Obi, you as a lawyer, how does that sound to you? This is the simplicity we want any Ghanaian to understand. Obi oton kokobia, obi oye bibia or bast obi on tiasie. Says circumstantial evidence won't to me fanko jail obi 20 years. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt. And especially to where he did not officially assign the land to the person. And also can say no, but by rules you told him to go and do coconut. And that is why maybe you didn't assign the land to him, because reclamation, he was supposed to go and do something for you. So by working for you, he's now maybe an agent. But you can't jail somebody for vicarious liability. Say, oh, 20 years. Me too be that. Me who be that. Then the very couple of days, because I'm sure, and I want you to tell Ghanaians this, Obi, we never went to demonstration because of Chabamuntumi.
This demonstration?
Yes, this demonstration idea and anger came with the Sedina case.
Yes.
Chabamuntumi, then we say, or call appeal process. Say now you're on court, no, but of course, you see, Bibi Akoka Pampa, and credit. So, I had to say, Oba, why are they watiano this year? Now I acquire the same or similar thing next year. Never in Kayaba. Now I kind of say, the whole year last time, no. What's the sign? What was the last time, no? Metiao, this time we try, because I had to say you don't learn from the past mistakes. That is why we have now come out and said, say, if you are going to do things like this, then it shows that there's a certain pattern of disrespect and disregard. And that is why we have also mentioned the Wuntumi thing. But they said in that case, no reasonable person can find it to be something that is well. And then we also added that there have been a string of things that have happened in the past. Can't we talk about it? We can talk about it. Some of them includes what we think is unfortunate arrest of people who are expressing themselves maybe over harshly. I had one NDC brother, Oka Enra, is it Mohammed Razak, or say MPP for starting insult, no, because we told Professor Doolittle Atamils.
Yes, President.
Meseo Obi, we are Professor Onye Bepri, Professor de Oye and Sweeney. It's not an insult. This is one ruffle. Anybody who knows English, you can say do little. We are saying you are not doing enough. How can that be an insult? How? Now, we'll say you are incompetent. There's somebody who's competent. We'll say, oh, your work is not competent. You are an incompetent person. I think it's a polite way of telling you you're not doing well. We have to learn the difference between English and PO. Because we can't just say incompetent, I swear, we knew what them. I'm telling you. We should look at it. Look, do you know, say, Abrofo, when they tell you, oh, don't be silly, it's not an insult. But then I have an insult. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's if you don't understand the English and somebody uses it and you want to say that, don't say that. Why? Because Obika Chel say, Doomsaw is back. Is that a reason to arrest somebody? I mean, really, Obi, you are journalists.
Yeah, but in that matter, we are told, sir, the person who owned that billboard was the complainant. Say the guy took the information on his billboard and or temper with the information to create a certain.
Is this a police case?
Say again.
Is this a police case?
And maybe
No, it's not a police case.
Somebody has interfered.
No, because you and I know that there's a lot of misinterpretation of 207 and 208 of Act 29.
Yeah.
Why is there the misinterpretation? It does not say where you do something against an individual. It talks about public peace. They don't understand the law. They are applying. I'm sure you're aware of that sentence. Yeah. Should I read it?
No, I'm aware.
Yes, public peace. The public. Not say, wow, ukuta billboard. Na obi akoye bibia enye. Eh, people got to be billboard. And no, there no sign it's a criminal case. Yeah. Then you deal with that person in a different way. But where the person has gone to use your billboard for some information, you take the person to court, you either sue them or you go and report the matter to the police in that regard. But say situation obiko na okoka we about na akochi esando ni akochi we eni na yehumbida enye. But me the entia me kama NDC for atiase said the omo ye no enye no and they say I didn't na mo chi nkrofo wi a esando baba amando the people their family don't know where they are. Is it right under the constitution? No. How can you arrest somebody and then the lawyer can't get access to the person? Then for 2 days, na bi munam ha, na kodua munam ha, na we nam ha, na omo hwehwe omo. It's not allowed by the law. In fact, when you pick the person from the family, you are supposed to tell the family where you are taking the person to. And I mean, this is the kind of thing we are talking about. What to mean konkochi obiba na onye say. And let me tell you one thing. In penifoni bi wo kra na. Omo sorry ye nieme bisa in their name. You know what they do? They intervene. Okay, ba there recently. Yakochi obi say we didn't attempt. And say misremo. Enye hwe munjano. I'm not worried. I'm not in my name. Me wominia NDC ni bi oka na ono ba omiano ono ni right. So I be interfere with what the police should do. And that say police still said the person should. What are you talking about? My brother, tell them political history in this country. Were we not in this country when 2010? Edujesi, okay, say no. Okodi Atamils, Asumje hini. To say son about me, or Asumje hini. Dr. Baumia, baby, I will be a Michel. Asumje hini. On purpose, basa. Ultimate election. Once I be consul problema, or say I give up because I don't want anybody else to get hurt and injured in any fight. That's the kind of person he is. Sana Atamils in Sotie. Atamils say. In 2010, Edudesi Munyano. What can I say 2011? SNC and no John Kuma of blessed memory. People don't know political history in this country. That's why they talk like that. Again, Atamils intervened and told the police, not in my name. So if these things are going on and people are insulting so-called on such matters, commenting on pettiness, and President John Mahama is not saying not in my name, then people will blame you. Because so to say na kwala read nanka so they read nanka bio but will be your thing chain ignorantly or not we'll go and call you nankarifu. This is the situation. So President John Mahama should understand say maybe a koso wa won pencil when you have the history something that has not been done by Nana Akufo-Addo it's not been done by Akufo what the muntie 3 ebi mo say and a muntie 3 kasa ye no NDC jailed them and they are their error, so they did well. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Do you remember what the Muntie did? They threatened a woman, just like my sister here was talking about a woman, threatened her that they were going to murder her and rape her.
About
you remember?
The Kasim lady who has recently been jailed one year also threatened the president.
With what?
With words.
Don't worry. Don't worry. What did he threaten? What did they threaten? And American say the threat. No, at the end of the day, what John Mahama can do, he can be magnanimous like Baumia or Atamils and say we air politics. And then I go for the entire threaten and say, on the play now, Timuno, say engine baku cry Jumano Uwa. Ghana has not lost anything. Is that not a threat to his life? They say he should die. But Nana Akufo-Addo was tolerant. He kept quiet. I'm just saying, say me, Kaba, you Obi, you know what I've been through, Obi. Oh, you don't know?
I know.
Me one time I be to me do I come here to respond? Because as a politician, you must have thick skin. We also follow backs. And boss, where the corner reply, corner anamiwa. But you, the leader, you say, oh, not in my name. Not President John Mahama Tio. Now Obi uye with Juma, say not in my name. Sana mekano. But one in your name, and it's being done, and people are being harassed. Now, not only are people being harassed for so-called harsh speech, but we are in a situation where people are being called by government agency like Yoko. When they call you, first of all, 48-hour rule is not applying. Yoko has no right to hold anybody more than 48 hours. Because they are not an adjudicative body. They don't have what we call the ordinary courts of the land. You know that according to jurisprudence.
Yes.
So where they cannot operate to make decisions in the ordinary court of the land, what they have to do, like those days, okay, I'm a client, your friend is saying, yes, you could do Rollins attempt, Nanadakwa. Yes. I went to Atingabio and to Yoko. Nana asked me, I went there, I went to bang my hand on the table. I said, you have to take him to court. So they took him to court, the bail was done, and then the court will decide whether to remand or to grant bail. And then the court will set the bail terms. You, Yoko, you can't go and set any bail terms, 50 million Ghana cedis, $5 million. What kind of a kangaroo system is this? What is this? So, a drew baby, now if your bread is enough, and it's enough. This thing should not go on in a democracy. Let me ask you something. When President John Mahama came in his first term, if he did any of these things, trust me, no Ghanaian would have given him the chance to come back. But President John Mahama wouldn't want thing, MPP for oh, he's such a nice man. And I'm like, you'll be on your see. But Sena, the return, King Compa 2, now I know the ye be whom meko pa ye di be ye ni ase ye chiwa pa ye say 50 million. Now Obi, maybe one question. You are a lawyer.
Yeah, now Odi one was you are a
lawyer.
Yes.
What if 50 million? What if say one person got 600 million bail? 600 million Ghana cedis. Why? $60 million. Yeah, SB. Or demo 8 months. And you know, according to law, again, also your lawyer, and so the media catch us say, I'm a day. Because I'm married to now, you know. Why you say international industrialist? I can't say medicine, now and no, say health matters, very important. Now and also your health matter. Who to me the count?
Sure.
These same people that we are talking about in this country, all of a sudden, no reasonability. All of a sudden, as lawyers, they've forgotten that you cannot use bail as a punitive measure. And so, if somebody has gone to jail for 6 months because of bail conditions. Why didn't we revise the bail condition? Isn't that what's done in human rights? As lawyers, we have done this many times.
Yeah.
Where we go and revise the bail conditions because they are unreasonable. And there's no evidence that that money that is lost, the person has it in a particular account that we can use it as a surety, or we can get a surety in that reasonable period or person. So these are some of the reasons where, did you be attempt? No, sir. But we are protesting.
Okay.
And we are upset. And we are telling President John Mahama, say, Jai Sadiano, na bibia ni kra memu eni ngusu because we dey nim say utumi ma muntie tre pardon. Utumi ye sa pardon na utumi di ma muntie tre no. For sa behavior ni bi atamils dia no any baumia dia no. Now for pardon some of these things because I must tell you the truth. Sometimes over exuberance, over zealous follow backs. Omutumi ye ni me say me ankasa nkrofo bi omudi bechi in politics. Na bibia ni na omudi obi akoko entokwa bi omba me say masoma. Oh, now I can't say me born assume because no did you attack me say my smile. This is how you make sure we don't enable, and this is how we are talking as Ghanaians, and we are saying that enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Now, what in some potintia and the omoye demonstration, and then I walk at the afam.
In some potintia.
Oh, so now what church them?
Oh, be there some now can.
Oh,
His Excellency Mahama or a judge. Or a lawyer, where you could head. The idea now no namu de master mobile.
Almost on no appointees.
It's on no appointees, so appointed while we independent to do your work. Na me pacho we as a dear bakwa. Here in Yan come was say a free BB forensic audit.
Yes.
The forensic audit will tell you your friend is saying Sika will be a fa.
Yeah.
They won't fire. Yes. Maybe you couldn't be and I know your move for forensic audit metal because Obi and who are charging in a vacuum. Obi be a bed charge you and I bet can was in be near forensic audit. Now Obi to send a post or could be and I want to see a question. Maybe so. What to say I any BB? Ministry of Energy, so ye minister. What do I say? I could see a quack, ya friend. Some pine or tea or sorry or twat to ya friend.
Some pine all day. I know what it did. Ya maybe say a friend mana. Ono kwana no nya ya nchen obi a. Sampan no. I to say you wine. Enso so na sampan ni how? Can't say no reference to people no. Minim that Afenyo sampan
obi a friend no. Some sorry I must see free speech sampan free speech or the studio bi ni. Maybe say akwesi akwa me aminua o kan sem ni bia na ayi mu ahyew. Obi afra wom omu nyina so mu di bre kwesi akwa no a deputy minister health me kai those days or try as much as possible money ba oba program.
Yes,
but not a deputy minister for health, which is not a small position. Na no ya chen obi afra no. It's unfortunate say menua no normal no ya, but oba ending but obi afra wom. So why do you say His Excellency Mahama is stifling free speech? Obi mbisa mibisa odike. So what is odike kasada? Odike kasa wa obehu sharp. Obi afre no. So adenti na wo kase ye wo so adwuma na se wo da mu free a obi be ba be frɛ wo. Anything e frɛ bibi accountability se wo ye adwuma se o ye accountable. Se ECG da ho. Ghana water da ho. Na say your core program ya yes wo mo me ka asem nche emu tantanta wo ma mo ye responsible no ye be hwehwem
Ghana ECG
me am ka kire wo ensem bebre o te de meche inti no say ye ka mo kana asifu say obi ti ho wutu fie je mframa ne abefa wo bibia ni ho ohun se mo tena ha ka kire me se ba wo mia wo se obi akoka ne ho asem ntimi anchi nipa kro settings. Oh, saying
Atamils the settings.
Atamils there was real. But Umia there was settings. Settings because of the me say time I hear hamen made the massam called down.
Wow,
me I said me person made me call any identity one can say Munyano.
Maybe announce my forensic audit.
No way first there no moon and come here. Me be so.
Zero moon shen.
Obi me be so as me call man no ho say me person me yin say me be ba me settings so be aka no ho asem nti die ende wo ma those days MPP time ye tan wo bani so ma kwakwa kasa sa me jamfi num nyina aka ho ada na ba umi ama me kasa ye nya wo mo And now what president didn't was see ye nkrofo. Ah? Na me nua be makasi say do later me ya. Ah, because of him fie. Okase do little nya hwe, incompetent nya hwe a. Oni masama wo ka. Kasa bi e wo ho bia ya won the context within the what vernacular.
Wa ka vernacular.
Otimase, se utimi chire mu wo vernacular and it's contextual in vernacular. Otimase se okase obi ye do little nya sa do little na e kana brochire ni bi. Ahade no wonye hu onim hwe. Utimi kan je professor se onim hu. Obi a me
do little here. Literal translation.
Me pesa me chose. Si e chechire mu okumase enye do little na nye literal translation.
Okay.
Ya woni translation contextually in chi. In vernacular okase obi.
Which is onyehwe.
Onyehwe ye onyehwe enje se do little. Onyehwe ne se nipa we this person is innocent. But who can in a certain context in inverted commas.
Say do little.
I said the panel born a body ni be the two inverted.
At the time the contest was na MP before na can say President Mills by and on share that nye adwuma bia.
There been a new to me can say oh nipa na nye adwuma. The person has me was synonymous ways of saying oh this president came hasn't done much. We expect so obey
no yanka much.
What I say?
How can do little?
Who can do little there? Who did not tell me? It is content. Una won't say with the other bawant na kumase.
Oh, now gentleman bawo nya dada bawo ye.
Ono so dada ba.
Me na me ko kumase every summer.
What you say summer? Me so na beto.
Every holiday me ko suntreso.
Also ntimi kura modin. Enti no now saka so obi ya incompetent. Se ya wo ka che obi so incompetent se chesen. What did dinner time? Who person
incompetent?
We incompetent.
Who more modern?
Who more modern? Just we incompetent.
Yes.
Who
ni mojuma?
And muka che President Mahamas who ni majuma. Na mo eno na nya di atempa ni mu ogina ho. Oti akonya so. Ya to aba man as president say won respect no bi na Afenyo marking aye no. Amen na the deputy ho ahwan general secretary a wono no time ye di general secretary no oni ho. Oti ase ama ono so abegina ho awo ka bi panyimu akonwa ewiase akonwa obi di akonwa wo kasa wo dwene ho obi beze
thank you
that me that say obi di akonwa wo kasa wo kan ho asem a wo dwene ho otimase ntina na mi obi papa no soma ame no president soma ame no me take all the insults from the MPP. Not because I mean to me, young
Papa no can say attempted. Papa no smart.
Okay, His Excellency smart.
Papa no smart.
His Excellency my chance and
I feel your chest and there.
Many did not
oh, my Papa no dear.
Oh, one did twist the toe so but anyway a tree.
Papa no.
Oh, I did the attempt.
Hey.
I want to twist the baby toe so Kumasi I walk and ye did the
Papa no Ghana very big.
I am one the twist to say Kasan. Otimase Papa Penny no smart me say men kono. Afenyo maki didi matem Papa Excellency no didi natem. Se wo mbu me krampa akonwa president dia ma me say menye so adwuma no. Ese se wo bu sa akonwa no. Office na me gina no. Ese se wo bu sa office no. Otimase but for you to say nipa na we gina w'anim no disrespectful. Okay, musi anka say oka so disrespectful.
Disrespectful to the party.
So me just me nipa. What does it mean? It means that you don't respect me. It means that you feel say me nobody. I am telling you. Obi so me catch you say obi. O send you be by my office. Why there other what woman tia. It means mimbu. And I say, and that is the culture of the MPP. Omo person me wan say omo re fi da chiasem bi. Say omo de nkrofo omo the only party in this our democracy omo jailing nkrofo. Omo time ye ba power. President Atta Mills President Mahama nkofo court nkofo krebu okwa assembly okwa ne ato atwene ye de obi tum bafo bone ne brother ye de ni tum to punish him for his brother voting for 2013 court case no his brother was put to jail Tevi was.
But it was not the reason.
Oh.
So he was put to jail on specific charges.
I then said no. I mean, and I said it was reminiscing. Some of the statements they made me write and told me to write.
Now lawyer niho.
Me obia me ho ono kase ye bank for me obia ni ho now ni ha Kojopuku was sitting here. Nobody, even some of your own people, person me boni di na ne ho aye offered at the time no you be lawyer say obey. They didn't allow him to enter. My lawyer was not allowed to enter. My brother was not allowed to enter. Nobody saw me.